Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from the third group and we would like to present about making inferences. Before we begin, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Irfan Aulia and I will be your presenter here. Today we will talk and discuss about what is inferences, the examples of inferences, how to find inferences, or how you going to answer when there's a question revolved around inferences, and how to teach inferences. uh, let's move to the first section where my friend Ferina Diani will talk and discuss about what is inferences.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ferina Diani and I will explain to you guys what is the definition of an inference. Before we move to the material, I want you to know first what is infer. Infer as a noun, it means you are make an inference. It is formed by the word infer as a verb that it means you are infer something. While inferential as an adjective, it means your conclusion is inferential. So we move to the definition. Based on vocabulary.com, inference is the reason involved in drawing a conclusion or making a logical judgment based on direct evidence and previous conclusion, not based on direct observation. It means when we making an inference, we not observe the story or the statement directly, but we making a conclusion based on evidence and previous conclusion. So based on the definition, our group agree that an inference is an idea or a conclusion that is based from evidence, reasoning, and surrounding information. And you guys have to know that sometimes an inference is not directly stated in the text. We learn about something by experiencing them in the first hand, but we gain other knowledge by inference, and it means the process of inferring. But we gain other knowledge by inference, and it is mean the process of inferring things based on what is already known. We have to know that when we making an inference, we can also make a faulty inference because the lack of evidence. To make correctly and logically inference, we need to have supporting evidence, rational and strong evidence. Thank you.
As you already know about what is inferences, my friend on the next section will give you some example of inferences.
I will give you some examples of inference. The first example is, you're about to enter a room, it's 8:57 and there is a lot of chatter coming inside the room. You infer that there is a 9 o'clock class that hasn't started yet. In this example, we have some basic evidence, the time and noise, and we can infer that the class hasn't started yet. We can be sure that the inference is correct, but it's reasonable to reach this conclusion away. The second example is, Socrates is a man, and all man is mortal. Therefore, we can infer that Socrates is mortal. Also known as syllogism, this is the most logically complete form of inference. Unlike the first example, we actually can be sure that this time, if the evidence is correct, then we can be quite certain that Socrates is mortal. The third example is, Harry's face turned red, and he started to yell, balling his hand up into shaking fist. It's not too hard to infer that Harry is feeling here. From the evidence of his face, voice, and hands, we infer that he's really angry about something, but we don't yet know what it is. The last example is from the TV series Big Bang Theory, and it's from the conversation between Sheldon and Raj. Okay. Sheldon said, "I took another look at the board, and I realized you were right." Then Raj said, "So you were wrong." Then Sheldon said, "I'm not saying that." Then Raj said, "That's the only logical inference." Then Sheldon said, "I'm still not saying it." The dialogue from the popular series Big Bang Theory in the 2009 episode The Pirate Solution, the best example that because Sheldon admitted that Raj's opinion was right and Sheldon actually wrong. Okay, that's it from the example for me. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Dency Tator, and I will explain about how to making inferences. I believe guys you already know about the definition, the making inferences itself from the previous presenter explanation, yeah, and I believe you know or you can recognize what the meaning of making inferences or the purpose of making inferences or the benefit of making inferences. I know I think you already know about that. So here I have tips or clue. It can be help you. It can be it can be help you to making inferences or answer the inference question. The clue is what you see plus what you know. As result is an idea or in inferences. So I repeat again: what you see, what you know. As result is an idea or making or inferences. What you see, it means read the text or read the text in the paragraph. You can identify the evidence or facts of the text. It might be or it could be help you to know the result or the new understanding later. After you read the text, you consider again or you think again in your mind based on your knowledge, based on your experience about the text, what you know the text. I mean, you know is what you know in your or what you know according your knowledge, according your experience with the text. And the next is as the result is inference or new understanding, new information. After you read the text, you think again and consider again based on your knowledge, on your experience. It become a new understanding of the situation, the text of the original text. For example, like we need Bob to help us. The statement is stated in the original text. We need Bob to help us. After read, you consider again or you think again in your mind based or according your experience, according your knowledge, that if we need someone else to help, it means you are in trouble. We are in trouble, yeah. So as a result, a new understanding in the text is condition of the text or situation of the text is we are in trouble. It's implied because um, the text just stated we need Bob to help us. It means, or in it means, uh, of making inferences, we are in trouble. The situation of the text is in the trouble. The second question is the weather had been very hot for weeks. The weather had been very hot for weeks. So you think again, that's your knowledge. Summer is the hottest time of the year. So as the result or the understanding is it is summer. It is summertime in the situation of condition of the text. So yeah, it's very maybe easy and simple way to help you making inferences. If you find um, if you find inference question later, you have to improve again and practice it this simple this simple clue. First is what you see. It means you have to read carefully. You can identify the evidence and facts. And the second one, what you know. The second, what you know, it means based on your knowledge and your experience. And it the result is an idea or inferences itself. So yeah, as a result, and it's like a conclusion from the original one and from your knowledge. That's it for me. Thank you.
Alright, you might think that making inferences or finding inferences is easy though, especially after being taught by my friend. But how about to teach it? And this is what we are going to discuss on the next section.
I'm Rona Theresea I.N. I will explain how to teach inference. Inference can be tricky strategy to teach, and here are some suggestions to help the student to learn this skill. One of effective means of teaching inference is to perform a kind of reverse engineering process. Begin by answering the student. Understand that 1. Our answer must be processed by clue. 2. This clue must be at what is already known, and then 3rd, more than one correct answer is possible. This is the tips for teaching inference. First, be sure the student know about inference. Inference is using fact, observation, and logic or reasoning to sum an assumption or conclusion. Remind the student that inference. Ask the student, what conclusion can you draw about what is happening now? And then the prediction, you can ask the student, what will happen next? Second, ask question. Teach the student to inference the question when reading. Robert J. Masono suggests using the following 4 questions. First, what is my question? What is my inference? Second, what information did I use to making inference? Third, how good was my thinking? And then 4, do I need to change my thinking? You can give the student following 4 questions. And tips 3, use picture. An easy way to teach inference is by using picture. And example, I have this picture. What do you think about the inference? Yes, the boy doesn't like vegetables. The evidence is the boy has a plate of veggies in front of him, and he is cold on his face. The student might be use his or her own feeling about veggies to understand what must be thinking. And the last tips, Students can practice inference by using short sentence. For example, I have sentence. My family and I have everything. We need ticket, popcorn, and candy. What do you think about the inference? Yes, the family is going to the movie. And we can use these tips to the student by short sentence.
Making inference is very similar like drawing conclusion. Making inference is a strategy you use to comprehend something while you are reading. Like you read between words and then you make a connection between those words, then you start to infer what is the meaning of the text. With this strategy, you can easily find what is the meaning of the text you read. Other than academic purposes, making an inference is also useful in our life. Like it can be used as a tool to communicate with someone. If you can easily make an inference, you can easily understand what someone speaks. You can also understand certain situation with it. But remember, making an inference is very different like making a guess. It might be similar, but it's actually different. To make an inference, you need to have a good evidence and a good reason that can be supported. For example, you already know about some words in a sentence you read, then you start to think, you start to make a connection between those words you already know, then you start to infer what is the meaning of a word or some word that you didn't know before by looking the connection between those words you already know, like that. Alright, that's all from our group. Thank you. If there is any question you would like to ask, let us know in the comment section below. Thank you.